Start off on this T side. I'm interested to see whether that makes a difference. I'm going to see a lot of early nadage and maybe some crazy ideas here. A lot of noise being made. They are not messing around. They do not care. Of course, there's always that player on the pistol that sits in towards elevators and gets the sound, but they don't care. Ramp control secured.
Yeah, very fast again with that one, and they, at least this time, get a fast play going without losing an opening pick early on. Some damage from Lato through the edge of the smoke, but after making all that noise, all that ruckus, they've actually gone back toward the B stairs. So, with still a whole minute 15 to go, they're going to make their way up the stairs, and now they're being noisy about it as well, but they actually have a free bomb site here, so they should get an afterplant, and we might get a full 5v5 retake on the pistol, but not on A like it usually is, on B.
Yeah, can happen from time to time. Vertigo, these pistols indeed can be a bit quiet, but Yuri going to open up safe, will deal with Taco. The Julie's up close, can't get it done. Smoke going down onto the site to make life a bit awkward, however. 5 on 3, make it 2, make it 1. Okay, then. Safe with the big 3K, and of course, that is exactly the way that FURIA wanted to kick this one off.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. That's some confidence for them. Sure, we of course mentioned multiple times about that 7-0 start on Ancient, but that was, of course, not their pick, and it was on CT side. You with that opening frag on the holding for the rotations in that little cubby room with the stairs underneath the A site. And that's the perfect start. 00Nation are going for the full eco with the USPs in this one, looking to buy up the M4s in the third to try and stay in touch as quickly as possible.
Taking it slow. Not quite sure what they're up against. I would say, I mean, Vertigo is a good map for it, but I would say the hard eco into the early M4 buy is a little rarer in the economy meta. But 00Nation wanting to put up the best fight possible, best foot forward. We see it a bit in the tier 2, don't we? Ecstatic did it for quite a while, and I don't know, they found a fair amount of success with it. I don't know, how do you feel? Early M4s, yay, nay?
I am a yay on that one,
okay.
I would say, because they're so... of course, it is very map dependent, at least for me.
Yes.
Like maps like Inferno, close range pistols, I really think it's worth a gamble.
Nuke.
And Nuke as well. I mean, Inferno especially because of the fact that close ranges are so dangerous, and the fact that retaking on that map is quite difficult in general. I feel like you want to keep in touch as early as possible. But yeah, certainly on long-range maps like maybe Overpass, maybe especially Vertigo as well, you do go for the full eco and get the M4s in the third. While it is 2900, you may as well take advantage of it. And they'll do exactly that. Of course, coldzera as an A4 user, as we said earlier.
Has a pretty big effect here, actually.
No,
he's only able, the one flash. Would have been, you see where his money's at, would have been another smoke. And they are worth their weight in gold. Big nade, massive nade. I mean, it's a good read from FURIA, actually, that it's like, right, they've got early M4s, a pretty textbook move. When you go for the early M4 buy, you're lacking in the utility. It means that your retakes are going to be a bit dodgier. You have to maybe take control of the round earlier on by getting in the face of your opponents, finding one or two openers. So it may seem subtle, but it's a perfect read from FURIA to get some nice chunk damage early. Yeah,
and of course, there's a couple of factors to go into this too, with the fact that Art's still on the UMP, K-Serato drop, and Yuri still have a Galil, and there are two players without a helmet, of course, and that's a lovely grenade stack as well on toward Taco. If you do go for that force buy in the second, and you go for the full buy on the fourth round instead, sometimes you do have more utility, so that's why you see teams go for it. coldzera does well to get one, considering he was naded early on. But the UMP trades again. Art, 4 kills so far. I believe 3 with the UMP. He might be single-handedly bringing it back into the meta at this point. Clearly a personal preference that he loves. Drop, holding the line, gets one. Taco pushing forward on that low HP. It's trying to bait Dumao in on that angle as well, and he does get the immediate frag, and in the meantime, Lato got one too, so it switched around into a 3v2. Dumao back towards the back of default, looking to swing, spots both players, but Safe takes the headshot. Try has to finish it up, and does get the first, and now K-Serato's down to just 11 health. And if I were him, I'd throw the AK off the map at this point.
He fancies his chances. Not going to happen, though. Trial take him down. What a recovery from 00Nation. You know, so much damage early on, losing a 1-for-1 as well. But love it, because I think, you know, your modus operandi going into a round like that, if you are 00Nation, as we talked about, early aggression, let's look for a pick. That didn't quite work, but they don't let up. They don't give FURIA the room, right? 1-for-1 on cold. Lato retraces his footsteps, which is a beautiful move that in future rounds can be very, very risky, but you've got so much time to play with here, of course. We're only in the first handful of rounds, so really smart stuff, I think, from them. And as you see, it pays off. Staying in the face of FURIA, they're not showing nerves. They're not, you know, feeling the pressure necessarily. And it's a fantastic recovery on the opening rifle.
Yeah, and Vertigo, as I mentioned in the game the other day, I would say it's obviously most maps are, but definitely CT-sided these days, and it's early guises. It was a bit more T-sided. Great flash in toward mid, and that's absolute perfection from Dumao and Try, teaming up for both kills.
This is great Counter-Strike. This is really great Counter-Strike from 00Nation right now, and I think FURIA, looking at it, are going to have their work cut out.
And those basics are so good as well. Like, I mean, sure, it's very basic. As I said, you're just flashing a player in to look for information, maybe get a kill and fall back. But that's the sort of teamwork that you'd expect to see from a squad that have been together for a lot longer, right? Yeah. So that's just very decent protocols and fundamentals early on. And, of course, we don't necessarily know how this 00Nation roster will play on Vertigo. We've had some results on it in the past, of course, with the Godsent core with Barton and Henny. That's, of course, in Challenger League and in qualifiers in their own region, playing teams like Gaming Gladiators and Pain, for example. So not really much to write home about with those.
I think they're playing really well, though. When you come from the underdog position, we have a number of aspects here. Like you're saying, they're not completely unfamiliar with Vertigo, right? It's not like it's a punish pick.
Yeah.
You also have the aspect of expectation. You probably can feel that FURIA, best of 3, it's much easier to predict where the veto is going to go. Vertigo comes into it. They had, obviously, a bit of time moving into the day to perhaps do some prep, maybe even some pre-event prep as well. That certainly looks to be the case here. Shore up your own Vertigo, maybe not anti-stratting directly, but shore up your own Vertigo. And then the third thing is the fact that now we're in game, you play in this underdog position, you're on the stronger side, first of all, and you have to set the tone. Yeah. You cannot allow FURIA, who are great at this map against world-class teams, to play their own game, right? And to have free reign. You have to make them doubt. You have to make them adapt. They might be able to play, you know, the best teams in the world on this map and work around them and adapt to them a bit better because they play them more often. Yeah. But a team like 00Nation, their experience is somewhat limited, especially with this new roster, right? So really solid stuff for 00Nation to just get in the face and keep changing it up. Oh, Dumao, it's beautiful. Gets the 2K, the trigger discipline. I'm loving this right now. 00Nation, I think they're winning our hearts in the casting booth.
Yeah, that was so calm, so impressive as well. Dumao, of course, one of the youngsters of the 00Nation roster, and of course formerly Godsent, only 18, showing incredible patience, maturity to get those 2 kills. Of course, a full force by coming in from FURIA with those saved guns. Gets removed immediately, and Art's down to 15 health as well. One thing, of course, we were surprised about the result on Ancient, even though it was 00Nation's pick and FURIA wobbly on it just because, plainly, 00Nation are the underdogs. But in FURIA's case, definitely playing the long game in this BO3. Volley in toward quad, should force Dumao away after his heroics, and he'll have to rotate around to the headshot angle. He gets himself a 3rd as well. Beautiful stuff. And even looking for more, jumps up with the help of a flash, just playing with the box, wasting so much time for his teammates' rotations. Doing a fantastic job, and now tries here to help. Oh, Molotov will force him back, and he will eventually go down, but he's done more than enough work in this round.
They don't know what to do. 15 seconds, FURIA. How do we get back in? Safe gonna have to lead the charge, the only one that's really healthy, and he goes down instantly. Art watching the backside here. Might get this kill, but no, can't find the drop onto Taco. 3 players surviving. Really solid stuff. Composure looking great. You know, they find those openers, and like you say, time being bought.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. I'd take a timeout. FURIA are not necessarily getting demolished, but certainly I think we were expecting after the pistol for them to set the pace, get off to a good start, and it's anything but right now.
Absolutely. I mean, with the Ancient thing, right, of FURIA not really having a great result on that map. Actually, I'll get back to this because we've got a bit of a rush coming in toward mid. Dumao, that nade will be chucked in, but doesn't do much at all.
God.
Look at the flash. Goodness me, no chance. And that's two brilliant trades with just the P250s from Keserato and Drop. This one's been made a little bit interesting now. Drop has picked up that M4, but of course there's no one on the team with any armor, and that's a beautiful pre-fire from Cold. Gets himself a second as well, looking to finish off with a third, but no, too low to get that final frag. But it's going to be an easy swing from Lato, so that's 4 in a row.
Context around, you can be pretty happy, to be quite honest with you, finding some good damage. Kill bonuses, etc.
Cold and Taco smiling at each other.
Sat next to each other, of course,
oh,
just like old times.
Just like old times, 2016.
Although I can't remember if they ever sat next to each other in the old Ross, but you know what I mean, they're close, they're homeboys. And look, man, they maybe took a look at Imperial and they were a bit like, they seem to be doing all right, maybe we can make this a bit more interesting. Taco, for me, especially post, you know, MIBR Luminosity SK, I think has kept it up pretty solidly and has really done a good job of transitioning into some different world-class teams, and then also
leading,
changing things up. And yeah, exactly, knowing his place where it's like, all right, veteran, the game's changed, maybe not finding the same sort of individual form, so let me make that move, transition to the in-game leading role. And Godsent last year, man, they were a really fun team to watch. I think we can all agree on that. So
absolutely.
Looking forward to this. And of course, the big one for 00Nation is coldzera freed up safe. However, going to catch the AWPer and try completely with his pants down. So this is looking very good for FURIA.
Yeah, there's a bit of an error there from Try. One of the first ones we've seen from him in this series so far, to be fair. And unfortunately, Lato, with no one there to support, won't be able to do much with that Molotov coming in towards sandbags. So two very easy opening picks for FURIA. coldzera's trying to lurk around the back of Gap to peek wide, but he's got 2 or 3 players actually trained on that angle. And Art will take Cold out. Dumao creeping up, has a gap in this smoke, but there'll be no one that will give him too much. I say that, and Safe walks into the angle. Of course he does, but it shouldn't mean anything. Just removing one gun from the equation for 00Nation, probably looking to save with Taco and Dumao. And the point I was going to make before is about the Ancient pick, is that FURIA permaban Dust 2. And as the desk discussed, right, considering 00Nation and the old Godsent core didn't play Dust 2 much either, I thought for us, maybe it might be a good idea to float Dust 2 with their poor form on Ancient. In the end, they went the Ancient route, and 00Nation took advantage of it. But as we said, Vertigo should be a FURIA map every single day of the week. Question is, at this moment in time, can they translate that?
Series of big questions throughout the series. That is definitely one of them. Hot on the heels. 00Nation, look, first 4 rounds they pick up look very good. Let's not beat around the bush, but it's not enough to, you know, solidly get you in with a chance of winning the half, let alone the game. So FURIA still have that chance to close the gap here. This is kind of the key round for me, breaking the bank on both sides, but ultimately FURIA will be evening it up and proving to themselves that they're still in it. The mindset right now, I think, is the big thing for this Brazilian squad, as the other Brazilian squad is looking really quite solid. Oh, here we go, though. Aggression looking good. Art will find Lato, but coldzera gets himself into the mix, nearly getting 2, 3 on 3. And the player in at short has kind of dipped out. What's the move here? Drop around the smoke, hoping he can find a catch on B. Taco peeks into him at the perfect time, though. 3 versus 2. And a combined HP of 53 ain't a lot.
It ain't a lot, but seen it done before. Both players coming up toward ramp. Taco, Try, and Dumao looking to defend this. All 100 health, very healthy, no problem at all. Tries holding this line toward gap angle, but he has to turn away from that flashbang. Spots a backpack, though, and I don't think Art has spotted him. No, he hasn't. Try advances, notices that situation, realizes he can take advantage of it. And Keserato is left on 9 HP with the bomb, but probably looking to save the AK because, again, I think they can buy next round with the money on Yuri and Safe, but It'll be pretty important to get another AK, I would say. Drop it over to Drop. No pun intended. Very easy to say drop and try.
It's a difficult one to avoid. It's like when you're casting big.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Big frags, big play. It crops up, mate. So
they crop up. Casting lines do crop up. We've got a crowd in the house, of course, seeing these two Brazilian teams going at it. Looking forward, I'm sure, everyone to seeing Movistar Riders in the semi-final tomorrow, having only dropped 3 rounds over the course of 2 maps to qualify. Can you believe it? Vamos.
I believe that's what they say. My Spanish is not much further than hola, which is an anglicization of the word, of course. Beautiful accent from me. Nice find from Lato at the start of this round. Problematic for FURIA. They can't string them together. Losing the previous. They've got no money left in the bank now, so 00Nation prime position to solidify this half, and Lato has started it off well. The spam's a little close, but not quite landing.
Another opening. The CT side's looking surprisingly solid, isn't it? You'd have thought that a team that only would have announced a couple of days ago and probably been playing together for as short as like a week, maybe a little bit longer, but still, it's clearly not been a long time. They've been very impressive at this stage. Lato on this off angle will get flashed, and he's actually playing a very deep, weird off angle you don't see too often. He gets 1. How many more can he get? Only the 1. Queserato gets both, and that's what we want to see from him. He's been a little bit quieter in recent times after being, of course, rated one of the best Brazilian players, or the best Brazilian player in the world. So a go. Try rotating in, but there is a big flank they have to worry about in Dumal. Surely this ends the round here.
We'll see. It's not really being accounted for. Yeah, he's crept in, finds 1, and now the pressure is massive. Queserato takes the tag. Try on this AWP is just an absolute nuisance. They'll group up, and they will try and find the fights, but Dumal is through for the double spray down. 00Nation, keep them coming.
This Dumal guy, man, he's an absolute monster. 3 more kills from him, updates his tally to 10. And a beautiful lineup, of course, on the last 2 as well. Unfortunate timing for the final 2 FURIA players there. Both swinging at once, knowing the flank's coming in. Of course, it's hard to communicate that in the moment. You can't do a 3-2-1 swing when you're getting pressure from 2 different angles. And Dumal takes them both out. 00Nation, double the score of FURIA. You can see FURIA has been on FURIA for a total of 4 years, 7 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. That is a long time. Certainly,
it is a long time.
Certainly one of the longest streaks, I would say, in CS right now, because you had, of course, I think it was Someday Young who was on Spirit for a very long time. You had a couple of the Tyloo players with somebody. I think he was on Tyloo for like 6 years, something like that.
It's up there.
It's definitely up there.
And of course, like you say, he's still extending that. So check back in tomorrow for an updated stat.
I think it's Mopoz, right? Is it Mopoz who's been on
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, on Movistar for like 6 years, something like that, 5 years. Another one to add to the list. UMP again, on the T side this time. CT side, I get it, but...
As long as you're getting kills, you know, it's whatever.
It's whatever.
And every time he does get a kill, he just drops it and gets a better weapon, so...
We won't talk about it again. Let's not...
Yeah, leave him alone, However, when he fluffs up a spray or whatever, we'll definitely be pointing it out. FURIA picking up the pace here into round number 10, working their way out towards A very quickly indeed. It's an absolute mess. Lato, though, comes through with the double spray down. Looking for a bit more, can't get it, but damage is done, bro. 4 versus 2, Yuri and Art to hold the line and hope that they can pull off the impossible.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick shot from Drop, actually, to be fair, but he got immediately traded through the smoke, even while coldzera was blind and blocked off by that smoke, probably spotting a dot on the mini-map to some extent. And probably a call from a teammate. A little bit of a counter boost here from Art. That could be a nice one, but there's going to be a counter flash coming in, but coldzera gets nothing from it. Doesn't matter. He still goes down, but Yuri, despite getting the 2 frags in response, still has to find Taco and Try. Try with the AWP, Taco with the M4, just a standoff, and Yuri's only 18 points of health, and Taco will take him out. 7-3, what are we witnessing from FURIA? It's like a completely different team to what we've seen in the past on this map.
you go for that boost, you absolutely need to win the round off the back of it, right? You sacrifice a lot of control and really any chance at getting the bomb down. So they needed probably 2 kills off of it and then to stay alive. Unfortunately, the timing just dreadful. That is the nature of the game. They go for the boost, flash comes in, and the 1-for-1 is there, and that's just not really enough. Mid-rush with the half buy here. Trial find the first. They don't have a lot of utility to deal with him. Smoke will come in. He's not going to go for anything cheeky all the same. Info is there. Big frag. FURIA just trying to move into each and every crevice. Deep in towards CT. Wrapping round B. This gets kind of weird. Dumao from Dupree, looking to just stay alive at the end of the day. Flash comes over the top, buying him more time. He's indeed not going to go down. There's that UMP. Yuri finds Taco.
Here we go.
And the 4-on-3 retake.
Yep, FURIA try something different and it's going to work out for them. Great find. And 00Nation are actually quite a way away from this. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they're going to save. Sure, they're up to 7-3, look, but there's been so many close rounds. Look at the money. coldzera has 100, Try has 200, and Lato has 50. That is not very healthy indeed. So, save has to be called so they can have a proper buy in the next round, and FURIA will close the gap to 3. Important for them to find that one. They needed some handlehold on this T side. Surely we don't see them drop Vertigo. The decider, of course, is Inferno, and honestly, I would say that even if it does go to Inferno, 00Nation won't be out of it. We've seen FURIA struggle on Inferno. Of course, we saw them lose it to Sprout only yesterday. So they're wobbly at the moment.
Do you reckon they all go to the same barber on the FURIA side? They all have very similar, you know, kind of styles going on.
Yeah.
All look very clean,
Indeed.
I must say. And the glasses, I am a big fan. I gotta hit some of them up and, you know, find out where they get their glasses from.
Another fast play. No hesitation. Taco will get the first kill toward drop. A fast speed play coming in. Only 2 players following. And again, this is one of those fast plays from FURIA that is very just 1 by 1. They give up drop immediately and then just say, okay, well, let's just give that one up now and go toward A instead. Another weird opening round decision, it feels like. Don't get me wrong, I'm a FURIA enjoyer. I love this team. I love watching Art go crazy with his fast plays. Find yourself in the opposite team spawn within 15 seconds on this map. But now coldzera needs to step up. An aggressive peek from Safe does take Cold out. So it covers it into a 4v4, but there's the health on Art coming back to bite him. 4v3, big swing comes in from Safe, and he takes advantage of that speed to take Lato out. 3v3, lovely peek from Try from Heaven. And now they have a 3v2 retake to work out, but Caserato's still doing more. Finally traded by Dumao, now it's all Yuri, but he can't hit the headshot toward double stack. And just like that, it's another round for 00Nation.
It's small, man, it's small, but that double flank is that beautiful word conditioning that we love to talk about so much, right? I think they were very ready for the flank this time around. And as we saw, first kill comes in, and then immediate reload, not expecting the second. That was the play that really made the retake swing back in favor of the CT side. So FURIA, in a sense, getting kind of unlucky sometimes, but 00Nation are keeping it fresh. They are, you know, mixing it up, making it very, very interesting indeed. There you go. 1.6 homeboys.
Brazilian scene has been a big deal in all the iterations of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I think it's, for me, LATAM in particular, right? You know, we've got a few Argentinians and whatnot in the mix. I think going to be on the rise for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like get some of the youth working, figure out maybe we need 1 or 2 more stars. They move into the FURIA team, which seems to be, you know, one of the bigger organizations at the moment. And I think we could see a return to the top. FURIA are close. Just need to get these pieces working. And, you know, like Alan mentioned on the desk, it should be. Some of the names here and some of the firepower that they've displayed in the past is astronomical. But, I don't know, this past 6 months especially, it's really just not clicking.
Yeah, and it's got them to major playoffs as well, right? I mean, we always wanted them to take that extra step up, but at the moment, they're just stepping into Lato. 2 more kills on the FAMAS for him. And another buy round for FURIA is starting at a huge disadvantage. Double swing from the bottom of a ramp. The FAMAS will go down, and that's a lovely second from Drop. That's what we want to see. Quick fire headshots to recover the situation.
Oh.
But look at Taco. He's been hurt, though. Gets a dink, but Serato still takes him out. Can you believe it? And because of that rush in from Taco, they know he's the B player. They're rotating around quickly, but with only one player. Serato is faking it out. And he's a guy who's low HP, of course, like I said. So I love that choice.
The mid-rounding's been really, really good. FURIA, they find those first 2 kills. It would be pretty textbook for them to go charging up the ramp, but they put the brakes on, catch the flank. That has been very common from 00Nation. Not always the same players, but they are pretty happy to pull off the flank. And then, as you see, fake out towards B. Now, doesn't pull try away, but it pulls them apart. So yes, it's a 3 versus 2, but if you look, a bit more of a 3-on-1, and there goes the one. Dumao now finds himself in another 3-on-1. Big nade. And it does drop the bomb. There's only 18 seconds. He needs to maybe just chill a little bit and hold on to that bomb. Catches Art with Molotov in hand, and he will wing out to clap Serato. Massive round coming through for 00Nation.
Absolutely unbelievable. You can hear the crowd cheering at that one, and deservedly so. Dumao, textbook clutch. Grenade on the default plant. 49 health, gone in a jiffy. Swings wide for the second to take the initiative. There's the second. And Serato, the low HP player who provided that fake toward B to begin with, is only 1 bullet from death, and Dumao takes that one too. 15-7 for Dumao. That could be an early nail in the FURIA coffin.
Yes, sir. I mean, we'll see. This second half, I think the CT side will be very hard to break apart. So all the rounds required for 00Nation, it feels like. As many as you can pick up on this CT side, but my goodness, Dumao. It's got to be a career map for him at the moment, looking so damn good. And a big clutch like that, right, alongside the big frags is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So worrying for FURIA. And of course, I don't believe they've won a LAN event. Of course, sure, they've won some online stuff, but I don't believe they've won a LAN event since one of the ESL Global Challenges back a couple of years ago when they were making their way through the ranks. So sure, they've been very successful, and deservedly so. They're an insane team. One of my favorites to watch, as I said. One of the best logos in CS as well.
Very true.
But at the moment, they're struggling to find their form, and it's been a similar story as of late. Even that doesn't really work out too well. They make noise on the boost, but at least Art gets an opening pick this time toward Lato on ramp.
Trying to find a balance between the aggression and the passive play for FURIA. It's proving to be a struggle. The openers, the gaps are just not presenting themselves, typically speaking. Round 14 could be a bit different. Dumao, of course, is on a flank. Cold. Headshot angle needs to find success, and Art is on it. Dumao on the flank. Ready, but not ready enough. But they know about him now, and they still have the man advantage. Bomb going to go down. Players not around to stop it. I think this has got to be a save.
Yeah, again, I mean, with the final round of the half coming up, you really can't afford to throw these guns away. Again, so many close rounds that 00Nation have won. Another 1v1, of course, or sorry, one player alive, I should say, for Dumao in that clutch in the previous. Taco on 0. Try on 50, Dumao on 300. Makes sense to try and get some bits and pieces with these 3 saved guns in the next round. Art with 2 big headshots. Maybe putting his team on his back now, saying, okay, I'll do it myself.
Leading from the front. It's often been his style.
Quite literally.
Yes.
W key.
Aye. I think, I don't know, you reckon when he was learning the game, his W key used to get a bit stuck, maybe? You
know, there's that meme of that keyboard, right? That has 1 key. It's the enter key, and it says, like, a huge enter key with just W on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Art's keyboard for sure.
The pioneer of shooting people in the face with the MAC-10. Although at the moment, it's the UMP, isn't it? So he's reinventing himself.
In that previous round, it was the AK. And,
yes, maybe he should stick to it.
That's all
I'm going to say on the matter.
Instinct. Lato going aggressive with the MP9, but takes the dink, unfortunately. I say a dink, I think it was actually a leg from Safe. as he was dropping down. I think they have...
They know.
Oh, surely they know. Lato is still playing around this, but it's being distracted.
Oh,
what is going on right now? Lato still gets one from that, but unfortunately, Coldzera, he shoots his teammate in the side of the chest. It's an accident, but it doesn't matter. This is still a 3v3. The round is still very much on, but Dumao again does work on the MP9. Drop misses that frag. K-Serato stuck toward quad. Dumao's making a lot of sound. And in the end, K-Serato takes him out. 2v2, try. Holding the line, and he takes the frag toward K-Serato. Insta-trade by his counterpart Orpa safe, and it's all down to Cold. Safe's creeping up. I don't think Cold's expecting it. They're bypassing each other. Cold knows he has a free clutch, and he makes it happen, and that's double digits on the half for 00Nation on CT side. They're going to be absolutely delighted with that. They're just 6 rounds away from knocking out FURIA. We'll see more Vertigo after the break.
Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. I don't know what you're thinking, but my mind is full of fear. Cause I felt this world without you. I feel safer when you're here. It's been a couple months now, feels like time's been moving slow. And I can't tell where my head's at, so can you let me know? Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Always thought I could walk through fire, blow up the storm and see the light, yeah. I told my friends that I could run on water, and they said nobody can. They'll see me flying through the sky, yeah. Play hide and seek behind the clouds. I show my friends that I'm not scared of dreaming, and I'll do that again, over and over again. Suddenly, the heart.
Tournament life on the line for FURIA Esports. Didn't think I would be saying that this afternoon.
No.
Looking a little worse for wear after that first half, but they move on to the CT side. This is where the strength lies, right? 10-5. We say it's the bare minimum for any half that you're on, right? If you want a doable chance, you have to be getting this kind of scoreline. So they've ticked a few boxes, not quite enough just yet. 00Nation with some big clutches towards the end and some great rounds dotted throughout. FURIA need this pistol. 00Nation, aggression through mid. The nade is massive. Bit of team damage coming in. Try on the Tech 9. We'll find the frag. Drop good for one, but that is all. Serato finding Taco, big frag, keeps them in it, but look at the HPs of these remaining two players. It's Art with 1 HP, and there is no chance at all he's going to save his Kevlar. 00Nation, they are just blowing the minds right now. This is absolutely incredible stuff.
Just battling their way through. Try with the boosted Tech 9 and the Kevlar. Harks back to the old Olaf Meister days.
Yes.
Even the same skin, I think, the Tech 9 Toxic skin on the cobblestone. The cobblestone clip, of course, comes back to memory with that one. 00Nation going to win the T-pistol, make it up to 11-5. Even the HP that they are on, that nade did so much work. Art's going to get some bonus cash here, which is pretty handy for him, actually, considering he was 1 health. And because he was dinked, actually, for 99 in 1 with the Glock somehow, he has 100 Kevlar, so he can buy a 350 helmet upgrade if he wants to.
Is this a pause? No. Okay, so they will be straight back into it. He goes down for the FAMAS. Where's the head armor and the UMP are? What the heck, man? Interesting that he's going to pick up the FAMAS. Nobody else is force buying around him, so... somewhat weird if you ask me, but at the same time, you know what he's going to do in the rifle round? He's going to buy a UMP. Either way, see what damage he can get done in this round. 00Nation, I mean, steps, man. It's really not that far. It's a couple rifle rounds in between them and victory. It will be an early rifle round, however, so they have to be ready for that. First kill comes in. They were trying to bait around each other, but Taco with the perfect position, and beautiful. There it is. Headshot lands, no head armor. Yeah, round's going to be over here, and I think they will even struggle to find a kill, FURIA.
That was just gorgeous stuff there from Taco. That's just years and years of experience. It might not look like much. What he does in that situation, getting the first kill, it was a USP. Maybe then, if you're a more inexperienced player, you'd be looking at it and saying, oh, just swing for the second. It's probably another USP, right? But he keeps baiting the shoulder, keeps trying to figure out what he's facing next, finds out that it's the FAMAS after Art shoots 1 bullet. Takes his time, creeps up, and removes it from the equation. Taco instructing his team there, and he's been instructing them brilliantly so far. Cold. I hope someone one day looks at me the way Cold looks at Taco.
You and I both.
There's a UMP. Yep. Has bought it in the gun round. Taco's upgraded from the MAC-10 to the FAMAS that he took from Art in the previous, so 00Nation 12-5, 4 away from one of the upsets of the year.
Yeah, it's a very, very cheeky bonus coming in, I have to admit. Would have liked to see at least 1 more AK drop. Good for 2. The trades are thick and fast, though. 3 on 3. B bomb site vulnerable. Great read. Taco's set up for it, right? They've got the mid presence. It's going to leave B completely open, actually. Safe is here pretty fast. And actually, no. This gets a bit weird. They're coming in together. The players are somewhat late. They could cut them off, but they're not ready for Taco up close. Art goes charging in. Safe has to get the trade, and he can't. Oh, no. It's falling apart. It is crumbling.
Going their way. It's unbelievable. All these small little factors that is just extra experience being put to the test, you would say. Sure, FURIA at this point have plenty of experience of their own, but it just feels like Taco is kind of schooling 00Nation at the moment. Last couple of rounds, incredibly smart stuff from him. Leading his team to a possible upset. And of course, we have to look at previous matches between these two guys. We have to look at ones that were with the Godsent Corps, of course, when they still were playing with Henny and Barton. And when they were, the last time they played, it was a FURIA 2-0 comfortably in the Blast Premier Spring Showdown. That was 16-7, 16-11 on Overpass and Nuke. Henny top fragged for Godsent on that day. Plus 18, 47 and 29, 1.49k rating, but didn't mean anything. It was a comfortable run for FURIA. But now, with the Cold, Zera and Tri combination taking over the 00Nation, And taking their spot in Valencia, they're proving to be a whole different prospect.
Art back on the UMP, the rest of them with the half buy around the saved M4. Art getting aggressive. This is him in his element. No opportunity arising just yet. Nice little Molotov. Flash comes in. Lato, hello? What's happened? Try found the frag with the orb somehow. Yuri in behind pretty quickly. Will get one, but surely no more. Missed shot from Try. Opens the door here, and maybe the round for Furia might not be over just yet.
This is where they need to begin the comeback, isn't it? Winning a round like this would be so big for them, but Taco once again, it's a headshot. Queserato drops. And now Drop needs to try and trade it pretty quickly. Dumal takes Yuri in the meantime. The Deagle can't hit the shot. Apart from that one, needs one bullet for Taco and finds it. And just like that, it switched into a 2v1. And look at the health on Dumal. He's been insane so far in this map and in this series. But only 13 health to find 2 players. Could this be an instigator for some kind of comeback for Furia? They need to hit one more bullet, and they'll find their way to 6.
You're on the right lines, Dumal. He is checking it. You can't see him. It's same on the other side, and yeah, he's giving himself away here. 25 seconds. I'll know where he's at. Surely that's got to be it. Indeed, Safe will take him down.
Let's go, Drop.
Massive recovery from Drop. Yeah, I'll love to see that again. It was a pretty well-played mid-round, you have to say, from 00Nation. They obviously dropped the ball a little bit at the bottom end of ramp, but they do a good job of breaking back in towards B. It's, of course, the variables you cannot control, and that is the man on the Deagle. Misses, 4 shots, I think, and then bang, hands this flick headshot. So really, really solid stuff coming through. 00Nation. Plenty of rounds, plenty of money to go back in for the buy! Safe. I don't know if it's timing or if it's just a misclick. All the same. He's dropped, and he will be kicking himself. Thank God the rest of the squad is on it. Queserato looking to end the round here and now. Try. Flashed out and finished off. That could have been dreadful, but Furia will just about claw through. Imagine if that's the situation that gifts 00Nation around. In the end, the recovery is huge. You can tell the faces are serious right now. They know the toughness and the implications of this situation they're in. 13-7 still for 00Nation, but they will be on a full eco in this round, so we're going to get a little bit closer for sure. Can't believe Safe didn't press his left click, and because of that, actually, I mean, it's very likely he would have been insta-traded anyway because there were 3 players rushing him down, but there's no AWP in this round for Furia. Well, it's these timeouts, man. This is the time for Furia.
Vertigo doesn't suck. Leave us alone. What the hell, man? I'm an esteemed member of the Vertigang.
I said I liked it as well, so I think that's a direct attack.
It is, isn't it?
I think that is a bit of a direct attack.
Very clearly.
Yeah.
Honestly, joking aside, obviously there's been a lot of quizzes and a lot of questions posed to professional players. A lot of them do say they want to see Vertigo gone. For me, I want to see the next change be probably Dust 2, because it's not as exciting as it used to be.
Just
Mirage
doesn't match up.
An option as well.
Valve ain't going to do it. Yeah, Mirage is like the classic at this point. 00Nation, no, moving in with speed here. Queserato going to get the first. Left on 3 HP. And 00Nation have bailed out. Ooh, and it could be the move, you know. It's only Art holding the line. Try a little ahead, and Art with the A4 is able to dispatch quickly. Looking good. Interesting, I just kind of noted as well, there might have been a few drops across, so can't quite clock it, but a lot of A4s out on this map for Furia. I don't think there was this many from them on Ancient, so kind of interesting to note that there's, you know, somewhat of a change up in the weaponry. Yeah,
I think there were a couple of drops, but I agree, there's definitely more than normal. Talking of maps, actually, the thing that I remember reading on Twitter I think it was a few weeks ago at this point, I asked Art what he thought should be removed first, because there was a discussion going on between a couple of other people. He said he'd actually want to remove Overpass first, because he doesn't like it as much, which I was always a bit of a confusing one to me. But
he's a weird guy, man. I like watching him play, but, you know, this UMP business and now this.
No, I love him. I love him. Maybe his opinion on Overpass is a little bit skewed, but I still love it.
Oh, of course, right.
But yeah, they need to make sure that this round isn't skewed because it's such an important situation. And coldzera bails out his teammate. Still, the trades are even going in toward the A site. Safes grenade, deals with Lato immediately, and a nice flash, but coldzera still gets that second frag. He's been very quiet in this second map, and those 2 kills could be the perfect time to arrive. K-Serato and Drop 2v3 to stop 00Nation from reaching 14.
Cold knows when he has to step up. Terminator mode activated in this round. Fake plant coming in. That is fair enough. There was a little right click of a nade that could have maybe taken him down, in fairness, if it lands perfectly. Nonetheless, bomb going to go down, and now it becomes difficult. 1 flash and only 2 bodies here for the FURIA side. Drop finished off, and they know where K-Serato is at. Flashes in, making life awkward. What can he do? Trying to get above the smoke, but just no opportunities present. He'll have to back away. And FURIA looking down the barrel of a 2-0 defeat. This is really not what I thought I would be waking up to be honest. Our one best of 3 of the day, and well, it started with somewhat of a bang, but I suppose for FURIA, for the expectations of this tournament, in the worst possible way.
Unbelievable situation that we find ourselves in. 00Nation. Newly formed roster. Sure, it's the God-sent core, lot of experience, some great results with that team, but joining up with coldzera and Try in a completely new experiment under the 00Nation banner. And there we go. 00Nation win their core would end a 6-map loss streak to FURIA. As I mentioned, they did lose the last one 2-0. It's just not a result that anyone would have expected, especially on LAN.
Well, we'll have to see. Is the lower third curse a real thing in the same way the caster's curse is?
We'll have to see, indeed. I'm not a caster curse believer that much, but...
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know, it's like deja vu, isn't it? It's one of those weird sort of phenomena, but I've had a good few moments where I'll set something up and then, God, even like 2 seconds later, it just is the complete opposite. Art looking to get aggressive and pick up
Goodness me.
himself an early frag. I didn't even get the words out there, and it was cursed. Lasso will take him out, and this is looking dire. FURIA have to hold. What a flash. Safe will get the trade. Can he get out? Yes, he can, but 10 HP in the 4-on-3. Oh, man, will it be enough? That is the million-dollar question here. He's going to look to go for a reaggress as well in towards Ivy. Cold surely finds it, and he will. 4-on-2.
coldzera hitting some really important headshots toward the end of this one. What a time to show up. 4v2. 200 health away from multiple map points and match points as well. coldzera now down to 5 HP thanks to that grenade drop on the side. So blind. Tries flashbangs. Has to be something we're going to talk about later on. Another one for him. And it's a finish for 00Nation. FURIA backs against the wall more than ever before. I cannot believe that we're in this situation. Nobody on the desk thought this was possible.
Not 2-0.
Not a 2-0.
Are you kidding?
2-1 was... even 2-1 was a small possibility, but FURIA losing on Vertigo, they've beat G2 on this map. They've beat Outsiders on this map. How are they losing to 00Nation? Is this the new Brazilian powerhouse? Are these our new overlords?
Maybe a bit early on that, Trav, I won't lie to you. But for this tournament, looking good, and we talked about this a bit, right? The new roster coming together, honeymoon effect certainly can be in play. And this has got to be, you know, one of the bigger matchups for them, regardless of where they place. They want to be beating FURIA, proving that they are a Brazilian team that is here to play. Drop's got some good flashes of his own, but K-Serato needed more. Art is going to drop.
Oh, my goodness.
4-on-2. Step by burdensome step here for 00Nation. Should be plain sailing. Get the group up and let's move in. They're split on the CT side. Safe and drop to save the day.
And it's Demau and Lato again, right? Look at it. 24-13, 21-16 for Lato. Demau was 24-15 and Lato 23-17 on map 1. It's really been the two young star riflers truly bringing 00Nation to the brink of victory here. Safe and Drop remaining to save their spot in ESL Challenger Valencia. It's a 4-man walk through mid. This is totally unexpected for FURIA. Coldzera's behind the B plate. Drop's going to go down. What a flick that was. Unbelievable. Will he give him another lifeline? Try gets one, and now it's all Drop. They know where he is. And 00Nation have knocked out FURIA from ESL Challenger Valencia. Can you believe it?
I certainly can't. I certainly can't. Very rarely in my life do I find myself speechless. And here we are. 2-0. A dominating performance on one of FURIA's, if not their favorite map. Unbelievable scenes here in Valencia. 00Nation. New roster's looking good.